Yeah. 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 TG and Mecah, they running the show. Talking Buckeye football, letting them know. OH. Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH. Now go ahead and give them hell. Smart, bold, and ready, they know their ball. Scarlet and gray pride, they've got it all. OH, Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH, now go ahead and give them hell.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Buckeye Ladies podcast here on the OHIO podcast. I'm TG. This is my co-host Mecah. How you doing, Mecah?
Good. How is everyone tonight?
Hey guys, can you hear Mecah? Can y'all hear her pretty well? Just let me know if y'all can hear her, just to make sure, because she has been having a little difficulties. Sounds like you could be good. But for everybody, what we're going to be going over is the latest stuff regarding Michigan. More and more stuff keeps coming out about this program. It's just so freaking ridiculous. We're going to do the Heisman Trophy recap. We are going to preview the college football playoffs. We'll answer any questions you guys have, obviously, towards the end of the show. But we'll also we'll do a quick temperature check on our team regarding its its standing nationally and its confidence level heading into the playoff. Our confidence level in them, I guess. All right, so you guys say we're sounding good, because she went short first. All right, so that's what we're going to go over. This show is, by the way, brought to you by our sponsors in mybookie.com. You guys enter the promo code Ohio. You guys will get a $500 insurance where you can place your first bet. And if you guys miss on it, you guys will get that money back soon. So check out our sponsors over at MyBookie. It's a great way for you guys to, put down some bets on what you think will be happening. Go ahead and check it out, guys. So let's start off with the latest news, Mecah, about Michigan. Apparently, these morons can't stay out of the news for their own freaking good. They really can't.
Well, Vader broke it, so it's hard to hide anything from Vader, so can't blame him there.
Let's be real about one thing when it comes to Michigan. The latest about the Mecah, what can you tell us about the whole latest thing? Like, at least just give us a breakdown.
Well, basically, was fired for not. They're mad at him for not participating in a sanctioned hit by Michigan. Supposedly, they viewed it as being soft, and that's one of the things that triggered his filing. That he backed down to Ryan Day when he told him to get his boys off the field, which was the smart thing to do for once, and I'll never call a Michigan man smart again, but he made the right decision there. But to have a school basically tell their players to target our players in the tunnel after the game is just despicable and ridiculous.
It shows you, from hearing that, it really shows you just why this program will never be seen on the same level as Ohio State. Ever. Because if you're seriously telling me, and I mean it when I say this, if you're seriously telling me that you are okay with your players pulling that nonsense, because here's the funny thing. You guys tried that with Michigan State and got your butts kicked.
Yep.
Do you not think our Ohio State players would not do the same thing? And then y'all complain about it after the fact. Y'all want to encourage violence? Now, if our players beat the MOT out of your players, I don't want to hear no goddamn complaining about you after the fact. Because your players absolutely deserve to get their butts kicked. Since you want to do some violence, brother, you finna learn real quick. It ain't the smart thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd think they'd learn their lesson from the Michigan State fiasco, but they didn't.
Of
It's
course they didn't.
it's outstanding to me how, and I mean, f- to be called weak for not wanting to do that. I mean, I'm not a big Sharon Moore fan at all by any means, but like, who encourages that?
Nobody, unless you're a scumbag program.
In their, I mean, telling their players to go after JJ and go after Julian and our big star players, like,
You're
I
talking
mean,
about, first of all, JJ would F up your little small players in a heartbeat. Like, remember, Brandon Ennis had to get him off of two defensive backs who tried him. And then he was like, yo, JJ, bro, be chill, bro. JJ would beat the absolute tar mess out of your goddamn team. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says.
well, yeah, you're probably right. He's got a good 2 inches on, uh, yeah, on any of their guys, and
And
not
not to
to,
mention, you're talking about like trying to target the star players, brother. You know for a fact that the starters themselves, the whole team ain't playing that. You
hey,
try to attack one of theirs, they finna beat the. They already beat the mess out of y'all on our home field for trying to plant the fag out of that disrespectful nonsense. Why you trying to get a second butt kicking?
apparently, I mean,
Nah, this is a program like it's like somebody got to tell their program. Look, y'all want to keep trying to get physical? We just finna beat the mess out of your players, and we're not gonna stop our players from doing it this time. Like your players are just gonna get their butts kicked, and our players can do whatever malice things they want. They can beat them up till they bloody in the face for all we care. That's how some programs is finna start being with them if they keep it up.
well, they are gonna start writing checks they can't cash, and that's what's gonna happen if this
Mm-hmm.
continues. I'm shocked that Ward Manuel still has a job.
Like y'all gonna call him something? It's probably the smart thing. Like actually be smart for once. God dang. Y'all always trying to start something. Then you want to play victim when you get caught after the fact. Like that's what you want to do, bro.
Cypher's commitment is 245, Vader.
245, yeah, it is. But yeah, now to find out that little bit of information that y'all actually see it, oh my god. You know, Michigan, like, we fire Sharon Moore for being like this is what I'm talking about when I say I don't ever want to hear this. The administrative issues and the leadership. You guys fired Juwan Howard for not because he punched the coach. It's because he didn't win enough or any of that. Like I don't ever want to hear this program. Eric has said it. Uh, Alex has said it. Knoxville native said it. Bart has said it. Sean has
Yeah,
said it. We've all said it. We do not. Chris has said it especially as well. We do not want to hear your program talk about that. You are about integrity. We are above. We are the best. Like no, don't ever speak of that. You are nothing more than a bunch of ripoffs of Ohio State. That's all you are. Everything like this whole Michigan versus the world or whatever that you guys started after this whole thing with Jim Harbaugh, it was because you ripped that off from Ohio versus the world. Y'all talk about beat Ohio State, will die trying, where Ohio State is beat Michigan at all costs or something like that. Like, not even beat Michigan at all costs, but it's like we beat Michigan all the time or something like that. It's like everything you guys have said from them 3 years during your cheating scandal, even now, it's nothing but a ripoff of what Ohio State is because you want to be Ohio State so bad. You want to be Ohio State so bad? How about actually be a program that actually can stand up to the standards? How about actually be the guiding light? Because the reality is Ohio State innocent? No. Ohio State's have their own shares of issues. Let's just say it that way.
But you're not doing criminal ridiculousness.
Right. That's the other thing. We don't do criminal ridiculousness. Like we have our own set of issues that we have to work through, but not this criminal behavior. That's the problem with this program. Just a bunch of idiots.
It's getting ridiculous. They really do need to clean house.
They need to clean house on all sides because it's getting to a point where it's starting to get stupid.
The NCAA, the Big Ten, all of it needs to get involved, and just put an end to it because you cannot continue.
You just can't. I don't care what anybody says. If you're being for real, you're going to handle this now because at the end of the day, this is a program. And trust me, and for Michigan, you are hated across college football for all the wrong reasons. Like at least for Ohio State, they're hated because of how good they are, but but they're not hated because of stupid stuff like this. At least everybody can say Ohio State wins with finesse. They actually win with morality, with
With
honor,
dignity.
yeah, with dignity. Obviously, like they can say that. Y'all fools can't say that. You guys are hated because of all the malice, horrible things your program has done, especially these past set of years. I have never seen a program this hated other than programs like Bama and Ohio State and Georgia, who've been the three big dogs, and they're
Not,
all hated for the right reasons.
not to mention all the coaches that have been fired since Harbaugh got hired and fired since Harbaugh had gotten hired and fired for egregious criminal charges. Like this is a trend.
It's an ugly trend that needs to be. They need to clean house across that entire freaking school. If they don't, I don't see them ever getting better.
And then they think they're gonna get a big name coach out of it. No big name coach is gonna want to go there.
No, no.
Like,
Why would a big name coach want to put that stink on their name?
they're radioactive right now. They don't even know everything that has been going on. They're doing their own investigation, which I have my own qualms about because
I
I
mean,
have,
it's a performance.
yeah, basically it's
That's all
to
it is.
it's to appease. I'm gonna address this topic more on my Illuminati episode tomorrow, but so I'm not gonna go too in depth on my feelings about it right now. But needless to say, I think it's just a sham at this point, and the NCAA and Big Ten need to be involved
They
because
really do.
if not, I don't look for anything to truly ever get done or changed.
It won't get done or changed at all, if we're being honest, unless somebody actually slams this program into the century. Because that's what people have been telling them is if you don't punish this program, this is going to keep happening no matter what. And you basically have told this program through your stupidity that it don't really matter what you do. Like you're gonna get off with the worst cheating scandal, and now you're telling them they can get away with doing whatever the heck they want. So now teams are gonna be on the high end, maybe even try to do it to them too, for all I know.
And the thing is, if this was us or Bama or Georgia, like the media would be in an uproar,
They really would. I mean,
and
they would be just wanting people to just get them fired.
and because of their relations to people in the media and a lot of them being alumni and whatever, they just don't get it talked about, and it needs to be talked about more. They should be shame, ashamed of. I mean, you're putting hits out on players. Basically, you're telling them to purposely injure star players after they beat you on the field. So you're sanctioning criminal behavior and not even trying to hide it as an action on the football field.
And then you're gonna try to complain when the players of the other team beat your ass up and down, just like what Michigan State did, making your guys look like punks.
Yep.
Like, y'all already punks for trying to beat somebody. Like, again, and if anybody tries to bring up, oh, well, Ohio State fought Michigan, they fought them last year in 2024 for planting the flag on their field because that was a bunch of disrespectful garbage that our players weren't going to tolerate. There's a difference there. Our players didn't care that they weren't going to beat them up for losing the game. They were going to beat them up for disrespecting us.
Agreed. Agreed, Eric. Bring up Eric's comment.
Yeah, let me see right here.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, there's no doubt. TG and Mecah, there is a saying, your football program is the front porch of your university. The dang front porch at Michigan is on fire, falling apart. It's absolutely 100% true.
No, someone cracked a bag and lit it on fire on Michigan's front.
Yep. And a real quick, just a shout out, happy birthday, Tyler.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, my man. But yeah, no, and when you now the question is the coaching situation, because they still haven't found anybody, which shocker, of course. And they tried to throw a big bag of cash at Kellen DeBoer because they were gonna take no for an answer. So they were gonna write like a big blank check for him to try to get him at it.
And there's still Michigan media that are pushing the narrative that Dillingham didn't say no. He didn't say no. He has too many ties to Arizona State, so he didn't shut the door. He just has too many ties. He's gonna wait and let him down easy, is what they're saying.
Yeah, no, he's basically telling y'all, I don't want to be part of your flame bag of a program, at all, at all. Which you shouldn't if you're a smart coach. But the reality is, it's like with Michigan, this coaching situation, like you guys fired Sharon Moore and no, you don't have a backup plan. Because now that people know that this is out, you probably should have thought through this and said, we might have burned our program down doing this nonsense.
Yep. They basically sold out to win that one fake national championship, and it's gonna set them back for a really long time. I don't think they're ever gonna be the same.
Oh no, that was a call that everybody made, saying no, that whole thing basically set them back a couple of years. We all knew they weren't going to bounce back from this at all.
Well, I don't see how they can because, honestly, what coach, what recruit, what anybody is gonna want to go there?
Nobody, unless you're just desperate to get a job, aka Brian Kelly, and you're just there for the paycheck. Or unless you're someone like Jed Fish who coached there and you have ties there. But then the question is, if you're Jed Fish, do you really want that stink on your career?
Yeah, and he's got a brighter future there at Washington. I honestly think Washington is building something there. So if I were him, I would 100% rather stay there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do if I was him. And how do you think this has affected recruiting? I mean, you already got guys pretty much looking to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised more people haven't jumped ship. I think there's going to be floodgates open. I really look for Bryce Underwood to exit. I look for Carter Meadows to exit. All big name guys and promising young guys, I look for them to exit unless something unforeseen happens, I don't know, impossible crap,
I mean, no doubt about it. When you actually think about it, it's like, I mean, you're already starting to see people decommit and get out of their letters of intent because they don't want to be part of this program already. You're already losing some guys from your recruiting. It won't be long till freaking you start seeing the floodgates open. It's already starting slowly but surely.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't blame them. They have every right to jump ship with everything going on. It had nothing to do with them, so I would too.
I absolutely would be if I were them. On top of that, the national perception. Now, you do see cracks forming. You still got those within the who are part of the Michigan media trying to defend the F out of this program for whatever the reason. But you do have those who are wanting to burn this program down and just build it from the ground out, just because even they know how embarrassing this is.
And shout out Jake Butt for being legitimately unbiased and being ultimately disappointed with everything that's been going on. And hats off to him for being real about it and not trying to defend the program.
That's what you gotta. I mean, unlike some of these, unlike most of the Michigan alumni players who are definitely trying to defend this crap, he and I believe Devin Gardner are the only two on the Blueprint podcast that they have for Michigan. They're the only two. They're one of the very few that are actually very few players that are actually cutting into this program.
Yeah, they're actually saying we need to clean house and clean a crap up because they're tired of it too. So
Mm-hmm. And they should be because that's embarrassing. But like I said, because this program has so many sick human beings, it's gonna be hard to just kind of do anything about that. And again, when you look at the national media, it's like it's just split. It's kind of split right now with
which
some.
I don't understand. It shouldn't be.
But
This
you
is
also have to realize though that there are people in the national media that are from Michigan. So
that's what I just said. Like I know there is, but if you're a journalist, you should that shouldn't matter. It's you're supposed to put away your biases.
yeah, but they don't know how to do that. Most of them, anyway. But but when you also talk about too, like when you talk about the journalist integrity, they don't have any. As Eric and them said, you got people who knew and just didn't report it, just like they knew about the whole Alex Yo thing, like they knew about the Matt Weiss thing, like they knew about the cheese scandal, like they knew about everything else. They just did not report on it.
And I love how it's all when it all comes out. They're like, "Oh yeah, we knew months ahead of time," and it's like, "Well, then why didn't you say anything?" That's the that's worse. If you knew about it and you didn't say anything, that's worse.
That it is so much worse than just like
It's
not
like
knowing it, because you're basically saying your bias is important and you basically have no journalistic
it's
integrity, which
like
is not surprising.
it's like, oh yeah, I knew the house was on fire. I just didn't warn anybody.
That's basically what it is. I don't get this program. I never will understand it. But then it's not even just that. It's another thing is the big picture, which is the long term consequences of this program moving forward and how it affects the rivalry. So, Mika, let's start with you.
I mean, I don't think they'll ever get it back to the way it was, but I think over time it could improve. But honestly, my thoughts on the program will always be tarnished by this. Like, I don't. I've said it before. You can't have rivalry without respect, and there's just no respect anymore. So I'm just done.
Yeah, so would you say this affects the rivalry where it has no respect, but do you think it could have a long term effect on the rivalry as well?
I mean, it will for me, and I'm sure it will for other people in Buckeye Nation. But to each their own. I mean, I actually want them to get cleaned up and get better because I think the college football as a whole is better when Michigan and Ohio State are respectable programs. But I don't think they'll ever be at a place where all the all the tarnish is gone from the program again. I think people will always remember this, and they should. They basically sold out to win a fake national championship, and now everything is falling apart, and that's what you get for putting your hitching your cart to a cheater. I guess is what I'm wanting to say. Like,
Scumbag,
yep.
piece of trash. That's basically what you hitched a wagon on. Because to me, this does affect them long term. Because I think this forever signals that their program will never have respect ever again.
I mean,
I
people
don't think they will.
there's people saying that the boosters are actually more likely to give money to the program now that Sherman Moore is gone. But honestly, like I don't think that's true. I think that's their delusion because what booster is gonna want to back a program that has encouraged so much bad behavior, especially if half the stuff that Vader has reported has been true. It's just ridiculous. You really want to support this regime? You ought to be supporting cleaning the whole program out and just starting from scratch.
I mean, that's what you would think, right? But of course, this program, I mean, I honestly doubt them in a whole heartbeat because it's like I said, I think they're forever just. I think their reputation is forever in the mud. I don't think they'll get back to being respected, like because again, when you when you do what they've done and you see how sickening, and then if you really go back and look at the pattern, this is a pattern with this program that no one has noticed till now. It's always been an ongoing pattern. It always has.
I heard about that, Tyler, but I thought that was just rumor.
Yeah, Mika, Mika, did you also go over the fact that Jeff has failed his background check for Michigan as well? I never heard that, so
I thought that was just rumor, so I'm not gonna
I
address
think
it.
it's a rumor. I'm not gonna address it because I don't even know what I haven't heard about that. I think that's just a rumor, unless it's their way of saying, oh well, Jeff is basically just turned you down.
Yeah, I'm probably looking for an excuse to make them feel better.
Oh yeah, that's all it is. Is they're just looking for an excuse to make themselves feel better. It's kind of sad. And if I had to say what this does to the rivalry, I mean, like I said, what this does to the rivalry is no one will ever look at this rivalry with respect anymore. I don't think they ever
and
will.
and not just us, like other programs are mad at Michigan right now. Like the whole Big Ten should be very, very angry at Michigan for the way they've conducted themselves. It makes us as a whole conference look bad.
It is.
Especially after what happened with Michigan State and the punishment that they got. You're gonna give them a punishment, but let Michigan off the hook for all the BS that they've been doing?
Who knows why? Who knows why? I mean, it's the one thing about this whole thing that really gets on my nerves is why do you let them get off on this stupidest thing. You punish Michigan State for the littlest stuff possible, but yet when it comes to friggin' Michigan, you're gonna let them get away with the biggest cheating scandal there has ever been. Like, brother, if you don't get out of here,
And not and like I said, this isn't just football. It's bigger than football now. They're actually conducting criminal behavior. Like
that's the point where they're getting to now. I don't know why, but that's what
needs
they are.
and someone needs to be involved.
Who will be?
I don't know. It should be a joint thing between the Big Ten as a whole and the NCAA, and maybe even get some law enforcement involved because it, nothing that has happened before has worked. So why not get together and do a big joint effort? In my opinion, or at least that's what I would do.
That's what I would do, but who knows if that's what they will do? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, I think this will affect. I think this affects the rivalry as far as like I don't think there will ever be respect for this rivalry ever again. Not just from Ohio State, but from everybody, because I don't think this rivalry will be seen as the greatest rivalry of all time because of the nonsense they've been pulling. So let's talk about the award ceremonies and a recap of that, the Heisman Trophy and everything. Uh, I don't know where to start with this.
I think Fernando Mendoza is very deserving. The fact that got me mad was the whole like one person there to interview Julian Sam. Like he dude is his first year as a starter and put up completed 79% of his passes, and a lot of those were 20 yards or more. So, like, why there was only one guy there interviewing him basically is ridiculous.
That's
Meanwhile,
that's the thing that got me so ticked.
you got players like Diego Pavia
Who
being
acted like an ass early.
making a complete fool of himself, and the Heisman committee and the voters being a jerk, and yet you got Sayin, who conducts himself with class and integrity all the time, and you sitting there with one person in front of him. I'm just gonna laugh my butt off next year when he walks away with it. I hope, hope he does, and I think he will, because I'm just gonna laugh my butt off because he deserved more love than he got at that ceremony. And hats off to him for taking it well, because goodness knows if that was Diego, there would have been a whole mess of other things said.
Oh yeah, let's, especially because he acted like a pure and utter moron. For me, that's the only thing that was the thing that got me ticked off about the Heisman. It's like, really, you're gonna disrespect Sam? But you know what's funny? I think Sam took that and said, because I did see this about the Ohio State Buckeyes, is that they were so ticked with the awards, especially JJ, because he got screwed out of the building.
Yeah, I saw his thing that he posted on Twitter. I pity opposing defenses and cornerbacks and safeties. He is he is a very angry man.
And if you like, if you're a team, if you are a team that has to go up against JJ, pray right now, because you better just say to the committee and to the voters, why the heck did you tick off JJ? Why?
And then not just him, but like Tate and Ennis are mad too on behalf of JJ. So it's like you just woke like a full-headed monster. You got Julian saying mad, you got JJ mad, you got Garnell and Brandon just flopping out the mouth, waiting to go at you guys. It's not.
Max Clare and them, freaking Bo Jackson. I know for a fact he mad.
It's
Like,
it's gonna be fun to watch. I think we're gonna come out very, very motivated.
and it's not just them too. Like, I think the defense is purely ticked too, because like, bro, freaking Cade McDonald's got screwed out of the defensive line award, out of that Outland
Yeah,
award. He got screwed out of that award.
that and not and it's not just that. It's where they finished in like the standings that is unbelievable. Like some of them finished so low they shouldn't have been. We should we shouldn't be punished because we have lots of good players on our team. The Heisman has become a quarterback award, and I get that, and to an extent, I understand that. But like, not just our players, but Jeremiah Love deserved more love than what he got for the Heisman. I really thought if Julian couldn't win it, I wanted Jeremiah to win it because I thought he deserved it.
Oh, absolutely. He absolutely freaking deserved it. And it's like the other thing that really kind of just ticks me off is like how many of us have been overlooked. It's like, I think it's just Ohio State getting punished because of how much talent Ohio State has. It's some that it was gonna happen at some point.
It's voter fatigue, and a lot of it's because they don't. Someone said, I watched a video on YouTube the other day, and someone called it the Heisman should be the best story in college football award, and that's not what I think it should be. Should
It
not.
should be the best player in college football. That's what it is and should be. And when you really think about it, but what he said about the Heisman is really what it is right now. It's like, it's really who's popularity, who got the best story. I'm like, and this is why nobody can take it seriously anymore.
And I'm not saying Fernando is not deserving. I think he deserved all the praise he got. Heck, he deserved the Heisman. Like, he outplayed us on the field and everything. But to not give Julian saying more love and to not give Jeremiah more attention and more praise for what they've done is just ridiculous. Especially when more votes went to guys that acted and conducted themselves like fools like Diego Pavia and made fun of the voters who actually voted for him.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it just it's one of those where you're like, if it's fatigue because Ohio State's so good, I think. But this is the thing you got to think about if you're the voters. Do you want Ohio State to destroy everybody when they go up against them? Because you saw what happened last year when they dealt with disrespect. Now you're gonna see that they're dealing with it again, and it's gonna be like, no, we finna destroy everybody this time. And if y'all keep disrespecting us, that's what's gonna keep happening. So I think that might be the one thing that tells people, okay, let's stop all disrespecting the Buckeyes, because otherwise they're gonna destroy everybody in the playoffs. Because that's what's gonna get boring at some point.
That's why I'm not worried about it because like I love us when we have a chip on our shoulder and we got a reason to legitimately play the underdog role because that doesn't happen a lot for us, and when it does, we usually come out swinging. So I'm not worried about it.
I mean, that's what I love about it, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. What else can we talk about regarding this whole ridiculous nonsense? Now,
Uh,
now let's.
and
What were we gonna say?
and JJ's numbers were almost exactly the same as
Last
Lemon's
year's.
Lemons, and he played in one last game and almost two less games because remember he only played for like a series or two against Rutgers, I think it was
No, UCLA.
UCLA.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And people, if they
So
try to use that as an excuse, and it's be like that is not an excuse.
I think the only reason he didn't win it is because he missed those games.
That is not an excuse, though. I'm sorry.
But I don't think it's an excuse either because the numbers were comparable and he had a better yards per catch average too. And Lemon is Lemon was basically the only weapon for USC for a time at the wideout position. So like you can't punish JJ because he has teammates like Carnell and Ennis and Clay and all of our guys and still put up numbers that were flat out comparable to your guys, if not better.
Honestly, it really isn't. And I don't. I mean, Tyler actually said, I don't. At one point in our group chat, do we really believe that Makai Lemon could be a starter on this team, even ahead of like a guy like you know uh Brandon Ennis? The answer is no. Really, I think he could probably be a good second or third string player, but like him in the
I
starting lineup, no.
I think he would be behind Carnell for sure, and I don't think he could be a slot guy like Ennis. So
Honestly, Ennis can play both outside and slot.
yeah, that's true.
Like he could do both. That's the thing. Like at Ohio State, like you could be just a slot receiver, but if you have the ability to do what Brandon Ennis does, which is do both, then you're good at that point. You're gonna get a lot of playing time at that point. But it's
And
like,
plus, we cross train all of our wideouts anyway for both spots. So
yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of sad just to see what this team. It's kind of just sad to see what the awards have become. Now, real quick, let's how about we kind of go off into a little bit of portal news because I did hear there is chatter that Chaz Coleman has entered the transfer portal.
yep, he's planning on entering his name in the transfer portal, and uh, Buckeyes are high on his list. That's all I'll say.
I was about to say, yeah, Ohio State's basically where he wants to go.
Yep.
No doubt.
Product of Warren G. Harding High School. He's I think he's coming home.
I think so too, to be quite honest. I really do. I think it would be the greatest thing if he did. Cause he knows where it's at, baby. It's like, sweetheart, you got a home here at Ohio State where you got guys, a great D line coach who is ready to do the work. So let's be
And
realistic.
and we did lose a we are losing a guy to the portal. Bryson Rogers is gonna enter the portal, and you know I think he's a tremendous talent, and I wish him all the best because I think he's got a really bright future, and I think he's a really good kid. And if he goes to USF or wherever, I think he's gonna ball out, and I wish him well.
Oh, no doubt. And I think he's gonna do well, to be honest. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he did get on the field this year a little bit more than he has in previous years, and I think he was doing great. I was hoping we could keep him, but if we can't keep
I,
him, it is what it is.
I'm surprised we didn't rotate more this year. I'm hoping we do that more in the playoffs and uh in the future because we got a lot of talented guys on this roster that need to get the ball a little more in my opinion.
Oh, no, no doubt in my mind. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that this team needs to do that.
And we need
Now
to and we need to build Sans chemistry with
the other guys.
other guys other than Tate and JJ.
All right, so how about we do ourselves a little favor, and we're gonna talk about the college football play review. Now, Mika, I want you to give your full thoughts on the playoff ranking first with the playoff rankings. Let's start there since it's been a minute. I'll be right back, y'all.
I mean, I think there's going to be some good matchups. I like the ODU USF game. I think um, Texas Tech will be intriguing to see how they perform. I think Indy's going to have their hands full. We'll see if they get past the first round. I think they will. It's just going to be difficult with their depth, and I really hope we see them again because I want a rematch because I think if we get a rematch, things will be different. But I think Texas Tech is intriguing. I think Oregon's intriguing. I don't think Oregon is what they were last year. I think they took a step back from last year, but I think they are good enough to get hot and make it further into the playoffs. But I don't think they're as well rounded as they were last year. I do like Sadiq. The usage of their tight end has gone up a little bit more this year. It seems like from what I've watched of them. So he'll be an intriguing player, especially if he's healthy, because we didn't get to face a healthy Sadiq last year because he was injured. So that'll be a good matchup for a secondary if we end up having to face them at all, or if they go up against. If they win, do they go up against India? I don't remember how the
What are you
brand.
talking about?
Oregon.
Oregon, they go up against James Madison.
Yeah, I know, but if they beat that, do they do they match up with India at all?
No, they don't match up with Indiana. It's between Oklahoma and Alabama, between them two teams. And for them, I think it's Georgia who might be the number two, who's the number three team.
Okay, sorry.
Or it's either Georgia or no, it's not Georgia because Georgia is number three. So it's the number four team, which is Texas Tech. That's who they go up against. My bad.
Okay, sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, no, I just got through looking at it. I just saw it. So yeah, no, that's how it works.
Yeah, I know, Andre. I know the playoffs are a different animal, and am fully confident that we'll be ready and fired up, especially given the atrocities that happened with the award ceremonies and everything. we any any motivation is good, and we definitely got plenty of motivation now that the award ceremonies have over and done with.
Yep, that's
Oregon,
actually a good thing.
Oregon and Texas Tech will be a great matchup.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Speaking of such, what or because what's funny is, and we'll dive deeper into that if they when they do become a matchup. But I will say that is a matchup I will be looking forward to watching.
Yep, I think
It
they
is.
I think they match up really well, and I think they're very similar stylistically.
I do too, to be honest. Now the question is, who's better between the two of them? Because I'm not gonna lie, Oregon, while they're good, they have looked a little, kind of
Yeah,
shaky.
yeah, they took a step back from last year, in my opinion. Although some players look like they've gotten better from last year, but there are certain areas where I think they've taken a step back.
Oh no, like for sure. The areas in which I'm gonna try to dig deeper into see which areas they did later on. But as far as I'm concerned, those two have taken some steps back for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though, Oregon is still a really good team. Can't count them out, but I'm not gonna lie. I will say that some of their weaknesses, like especially on defense, it's kind of like when you got this young secondary, it can hurt you.
In the Alabama Oklahoma game, I mean Mateus' thumb is healed. I think they said it was fully healed, so it'll be interesting to see if that factors into the game at all.
Yeah, here's the thing, actually, because when you talk about it, like Oklahoma's strengths is Metry when he's healthy. Their offensive line has been a strength for them this year. I'll tell you that right now. It has been. Explosive plays, versatile playmakers, uh, strong offensive capabilities, and dynamic playmaking. That is a great strength for them. But they do have weaknesses that can be exploited if Alabama's defense can do these things. And we're gonna dive deeper into them as well, where now I will say this. They do have dynamic playmaking ability. However, their biggest weakness is on 20 plus yard plays because it's actually ranked the third worst in college football.
Yeah,
Their yards per play, or should I say per play is 4.5, which is the lowest in Oklahoma's history. It's also they also in their run games even suffered a little bit because it's 33 yards less than it was last year. It's now on 30 yard runs per game is the average. That is lower than last year's, 33 yards lower. And
well,
their third down success rate is significantly down from last year as well.
I think they've been dealing with nicked up backs and stuff too, so that factors into that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that as well, but I'm not gonna lie. When you kind of think about it, I was like, because when you do see that, but even when they were healthy, that actually was a issue they were facing as
Yeah,
well, though. So it's like even when they were healthy, that was a problem. Now, when you also think about it too, for like Alabama, their strengths are offensive line, rotational flexibility, and player deployment. That is their weaknesses, but that is their strengths. I'm sorry, but even though all those are strengths, they do have some weaknesses because the offensive line's performance, while they have been a strength, they do have inconsistency. So, like offensive line consistency has been a bit of a problem because we've seen it where they've had their games where they look like a top tier offensive line, like ours kind of have before, but then they have their games where they just look terrible.
and Ty Simpson isn't so hot and cold sometimes. And there's questions on whether he's gonna be fully healthy or not too. So that'll be interesting to watch how he performs as well.
Not just that, but they've had some player absences as
Yeah,
well. It's kind of affected that. That's been a big weakness for them this year. And then they do have positional vulnerabilities, especially among their offensive line as well, which we talked about it, where they do have some depth issues as far as maintaining consistency. So
And the star players have taken a step back from last year, in my opinion.
yeah, that's
Because
definitely been a big problem for them, no doubt. I mean, when I look at these two teams, I'm like, these two teams have potential, but it's like, what happened?
yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with both injuries and just lack of lack of depth of players stepping up to fill for the injured players and stuff, and lack of play calling creativity for Bama. Like, I think they get in a hole and then they just can't get out of it because they're they're so used to having guys like Williams and stuff making tremendous catches, and when those aren't happening, then they just kind of falter, in my opinion.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When I kind of look at and you talked about, and we just talked about it. It's basically, how are we gonna say this? It's basically just consistency with a lot of these teams.
Yeah. And whether that traces back to Saban leaving, I don't know for sure, but like Alabama is not what they were, and I think it's going to take them a while to get built back up again. If they ever reach that height again, I don't know if they ever will, but like I think it'll be a good matchup between them and Oklahoma, and I'll be interested to see what Mattia can do if he's fully healthy.
I mean, the thing is too, when you talk about this as well, is like the strength and weaknesses of these defenses. Because even though their offenses their offenses have strength and weaknesses. What about their strengths? What about their defensive strengths and weaknesses? Huh? What about
I
that?
mean, I mean, you can clearly see that like Alabama's defense has taken a step back as well. Their linebackers aren't nearly what they used to be. They're not as active. Not they're not getting the linebacker pressures and stuff that they were known for back in the day, and just you can tell there's just a different energy around that program now than there used to be. When they're hot, but when they're cold, they're really cold.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about it like this. When you talk about it with Oklahoma, as you just said, their weaknesses include inexperience inexperience totally across on their defense for the most part, really in the secondary. That's where their biggest weakness has been is inexperience and basically weaknesses in the secondary. That's where their biggest weaknesses have been, as well as like you said, the linebackers and how they've been playing. The D line has actually been their biggest strength for them on defense.
Yeah, some of their secondary players are undersized too, which doesn't help.
Yeah, and then compared to Oklahoma, their Oklahoma's strength is their scoring defense, their linebackers, their D line, their third down defense, quarterback pressures and sacks. But their weaknesses are their secondary, dynamic plays, and rushing defense, meaning they are subjected to give up. So the question pretty much is which, like you can see the weaknesses, which one of these teams are going to be able to exploit it would be the question.
I think they can be had by the play action pass as well, cause I've watched a few games where they bite
Why?
on it,
Yeah, why do
they
you think I said dynamic plays?
they bite on it and then it hurts them. So I'll be interested to see whether they can take advantage of that or not.
Yeah, so that's why I said dynamic plays because that's technically what really does hurt them. It is basically that. It's hey, look, you guys will give up big plays in the run and even in the pass when you bite on them play action passes. Which look, when you have a team that can do both, but with Alabama, the question is, can you do both? Right now, I think they can, but they're so hot and cold
Yeah,
is
that's what I
actually
said.
yeah.
They when they're hot, they're hard to stop, but when they're cold, they're ice cold.
Yeah, it's pretty bad actually.
I
It's so pathetic.
I like the way you think, Tyler.
Let me see. What did Tyler say?
About Justin Hill.
Justin Hill, I know you are making. I know you are regretting making that mistake, my guy, going to Bama instead of Ohio State. Yeah, probably. I mean, everybody does. Let's be honest.
I mean, his dad or stepdad or whatever was a Bama fan, so it wasn't really that big of a surprise. But I bet he's regretting it now.
Oh, he
Honestly.
is. He is. As a matter of Michael Caldwell. Hey, TG Miko, who do you think the Buckeyes next? I mean, not the Buckeyes. The Michigan Wolverines coach will be. Who will their next coach be? It's between
Uh,
Jed Fish and friggin' Brian Kelly.
I don't even think they're willing to risk it. But if I were them, I'd start with someone who's trying to make a name for themselves and just start from the ground up because I don't think any self-respecting coach is going to want to touch this radioactive program.
No, not one. Not one. Not one. I'm sorry. Not one self respecting coach is going to want to touch this program at all. Which gets to the what do you guys think about the national championship prediction, Ohio State versus Oregon? Actually, we're going to. That would be a good rematch, but I think Ohio State will win.
Yeah, I think we'd win too. I think, like I said earlier, I think Oregon's took a step back from last year, and we handled them last year in the Rose Bowl. Not that, not that they wouldn't be motivated, but still. 90s championship beard, is that you? Is that him? That's him, isn't it?
It has to be.
I love you, man. You're hilarious.
RDCB, bro, this is too funny. He has so many funny nicknames.
Bloody Knife Bandit, you've outdone yourself. That's it. RDCB is the goat of like YouTube names. I
And
can't.
thank you, buddy. Oh man, he makes my
Oh,
day.
thank you. That made my night. That was
That
hilarious.
that just made my day. That's so freaking hilarious. Oh my god! And then he has in his profile he has Sharon Moore with the crying and the pain, the little blood on his nose. It's so funny.
It's clown makeup.
That's such clown makeup, bro. I'm like, oh boy. As soon as I see that,
Oh my goodness. You're something else, man. Don't ever change.
don't, don't. Um, talk about someone regretting not going to Ohio State. Jordan Marshall is regretting playing for LOL. I think he's also regretting talking the crap that he was saying
Yeah,
before.
because he talked the crap and now he just looks ridiculous. And
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta support your school if you're going there, but to come out and bash another program and basically say that that your school has a better culture and that they didn't recruit you, which is untrue. We recruited you. Totally
actually, when you say someone who didn't recruit you, why are you still at that school with the very coach who didn't recruit you
exactly. You beat me to it. Alfred is the one that didn't push for you.
at
Ryan Day.
all?
Ryan Day wanted you to be a Buckeye.
He really did. And then, like I
And
said, um,
I'm just done. I wish him well if he I'm sure he's gonna end up going elsewhere. If he does, I wish him well, but you just look stupid after those comments, man. So just keep your
and
head
imagine if you now just imagine you transfer to Ohio State, you better apologize.
keep your head down and take care of business and next time check when you open your mouth.
Yeah. So Mika, I want you to get started. How about we get started on the Texas A&M Miami game because this is going to be the game that determines who plays Ohio State and and this is going to determine who plays Ohio State and who's going to be facing us after against Georgia. So let's start off with that, please.
You're breaking up. I didn't catch that.
You need. You didn't hear that?
No.
Okay, let me say it again. I said let's start with the Texas A&M Miami game and about your opinion on these two teams because this game will determine who will face Ohio State.
Okay.
Yeah, get started.
I think it's a great matchup. I do think Miami has a better in interior defensive line and better pressure up the middle, but I think that Texas A&M has a little bit more athleticism in terms of uh, wideouts and quarterback and stuff, so it should be a good matchup. I do think that um, Texas A&M's secondary is questionable, and I do think that if Carson Beck is on one of his hot streaks, that he can really take advantage of that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's talk about it since we talk about it. Is Miami and Texas. Well, let's just say it. Now, Texas A&M's offense and defense, their weaknesses. The Texas A&M's offensive strengths are the ability to score points consistently and effectively, which they have done all year. Let's be honest, even though it hasn't been against the greatest schedule, got to give them that one.
Yeah.
They have shown strong performances, as we already know. Their two receivers have been really good for them, but their biggest strength is their run game with Le'Veon Moss, their running back, and their quarterback, Marcel Reed, and they use the ability of the dual threat quarterback to open up the passing game.
Yeah, they definitely do that. And I think containing Marcel Reed is going to be the key, I think, because if you can contain him, then that just slows everything down, and they basically get their get their take all their cues from him, and when he's having a good game, their offense is hard to stop. But and they've shown the ability to come back from big deficits, so we gotta play.
Well, let's be real about that one.
Yeah,
It's
that was
like
that was
that.
on that was on their defense too. I got that, but
No, like that was more so because the other team took their foot off the gas pedal. I mean,
yeah,
look at them versus Texas. Like Texas put their foot to their neck and never let
I
off.
said
Versus
that was
South
on the
Carolina.
I said that was on South Carolina's defense too. But if we do face them, I want us to put a foot on the gas and not let up because they can get hot at any time. Similar to Miami, when they're hot, they're hard to stop. But they're very both teams are very very hot and cold, and I think they can both be beat easily if we play our best game, and I think we will because we'll definitely be motivated.
Yeah, because when you talked about it, that is a weakness for them. But also, their offensive line has been shown as a weakness as well because there's been significant concerns with their offensive line, such as out of position plays, and lack of cohesion and maturity among their players on the offensive line. That is a big weakness for Texas A&M. As much as keeping Marcel Reed in the pocket, those are the two biggest weaknesses you got right there.
Yeah, and sorry to hear about your mom, B Dunks.
Oh,
That's horrible, man.
oh,
Prayers,
sorry to hear about that, dang dude.
prayers for you, buddy, and your mom.
Yep, prayers for you, man. I'm sorry to hear. Sorry to hear. That is terrible. So prayers to like how we do our prayers to Sarah. Hopefully she's doing well, Sarah. I pray you're doing well. Pray to Debunk's mom, people. Now, when we talk about the Miami Hurricanes, their strength has been their offensive line. It's practically their biggest strength. But their offensive line also has a weakness as far as being consistent. Their offensive line has been inconsistent, but their offense as a whole has been inconsistent, as a matter of fact. The offensive line has not been able to continue consistency. Their run game efficiency is not great either. And same with their pass game consistency. Those are their biggest weakness right now.
Yeah, they do have I forget who their main receiver is. Is his last name Tony?
Yes, I believe. Michael Tony, I think it is.
Yeah, he is a really good receiver, and when he's on his game, and when Carson Beck is delivering the ball, he's really hard to stop. But I trust our cornerbacks. I think Iggy and um, Jermaine and Zoe got the butts handed to them for the giving up plays to Indy, and I think they'll be ready. So I'm not too worried.
Oh, no doubt about it. And when you really think about it, it's not just that. But now let's talk about their defenses, strengths and weaknesses. Now, Texas A&M strengths on defense: elite pass rush, run defense improvement, veteran leadership, as well as their young talent has been a strength for them. But their young talent has also been a weakness for them because there's because well, let's start off with this. The pass rush has concern as far as obviously with key departures of their great players. So there are some inconsistencies there among their pass rush. So pass rush inconsistency, especially with losing key players such as Nick Horton, Shamar Turner, and Shamar Stewart, but also their secondary, because while they're young, they're inexperienced, and they are a concern against good to elite receivers.
And didn't they say that one of their guys got hurt recently, if I remember correctly?
I believe so. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think there might have been an injury.
Wasn't
So,
that wasn't that like I think his last name is Overton?
I think so.
It's like LT Overton or Ladanian Overton or something like that. I think he's hurt, so that'll be something to keep an eye on as well.
Yep. And then to Miami, their defensive strengths. Now, apparently, their strength happens to be the new defensive scheme of the 4-2-5 defense, which helps them generate disruption and generating pressure. Their key players such as Ruben Bain and Akeem Misor, whatever you say his last name is. Their defensive line, obviously as a whole, and the experience they have among their front seven, including their linebackers. But their weaknesses include run defense and converting pressures into sacks, which that is a problem. If you can't convert pressures into sacks, you got a serious problem.
Okay, I'm sorry, Tyler. I got confused there. He's right.
They're offensive linemen. Okay, so that's the guy who plays for Alabama. Thank you, Tyler.
No, LT was his name. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but he plays for Bama. So like I said, the weakness of their Miami's defense, the run defense, the converting pressures into sacks, a tendency to struggle when opponents execute balanced offensive attacks. Their secondary is their biggest concern with a lack of experienced players, which includes their secondary depth. Coverage consistency has also been a concern because of that, especially when it involves elite receivers and flaws among their young players. So like these happen to be the big struggles of Miami's defense right now,
Yeah.
which that ain't great. Now at least you know your front seven is your strength, which is the first time you can say that in a long time. However, it is a weak, but it does have weaknesses regarding the run defense and regarding converting pressures into sacks. And the fact that you tend to struggle with opponents that execute balanced offensive attacks says a lot right there.
Yeah, and struggling with elite receivers. We got elite receivers out the wazoo, so
And that's what's funny is like that's both Texas A&M and freaking Miami's defenses. That both their secondary struggle with elite receivers. So like that tells you everything you need to know.
I'm not too worried. I do hope that Van Sickle or whoever takes up Tegra's spot is ready, and I think they will be. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's. I think it'll either be Van Sickle or Padilla. Maybe Onyanwa. I don't know. I haven't heard any confirmation on any of that yet, but like either one of those three, honestly, would probably be an upgrade given how Tegra has performed. I don't know if his injury had anything to do with his performance against Indiana because he performed well against Michigan.
Michigan.
So I don't know if the injury was part of his lackluster performance during that game, but I wish him well, and hopefully he gets better and whatever he decides to do. Like, I hope he succeeds at it because I think he's a great character, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. Penn State sports talk. He talks about bringing up Ohio University because it's super. I think he's bringing that up because of the fact that their coach got arrested for very similar patterns as Sharon Moore, except not arrested, but like fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a with another person, a part of their work. So
Men have men in power have powerful weaknesses.
yeah, like Tyler, he's referring to Ohio University, the Bobcats. Their head coach got fired for having an inappropriate relationship with another staffer. So yeah, and you know what's super funny is we made fun of it in our group chat in the toxic mafia, which was, oh, here's Michigan's next head coach. He fixed the motto of their program perfectly. Like it was the funniest.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that's what we said. It's like, I mean, you don't put it past him at this point because it's like he fits y'all motto perfectly. He does this stupid stuff. Who knows? He could win.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Um, what do you think about Jim Knowles going to Tennessee?
That's a bad hire in the making.
Yeah, I didn't agree with it either.
That is bad hire.
That was
Look,
just
y'all defense was already good. It's like, and it's like it's gonna get worse. I'm sorry. Like this defense, and look, it could get better within the next 3 years because that's how long it took Ohio State's defense. Except the difference was he took over a defense from the worst defensive coordinating we have ever seen, and he made 2022 better. But they had significant flaws they needed to fix. 23 they got definitely better for
and,
sure. They got
and
way
that's
better. And in 2024 was the best defense we had up until this year in 2025 when Matt Patricia took it over and just instantly defense on top right there.
and that's the thing. Like his defense takes so long to implement, and they got such young talent now. I'm like, why would you risk that? Like, why not bring in? That just wouldn't have been my choice, but I'm not being hired to make these decisions. Not that I wouldn't. Hint, hint. I'm available. I'm willing to take a coaching salary if anyone wants to pay me. That would be good.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, who knows? It could get better for Tennessee, but it's like we pretty much talked about it that it was better for Jim Knowles to leave now because I don't know if his defense would have worked with this year's team. I really don't think it would have worked. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for Tennessee is I don't know if your defense is going to work with going forward. Like I think your defense is going to have ups and downs, especially next season. All next season, it's going to be ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs.
Matt Campbell is bringing in his guy from Iowa State, right?
I believe so. Yes.
That'll give him some consistency at least. So
Yeah, and at least your defense will probably get marginally better than what it was this year. Because we told Penn State it was like, brother, let me tell you something. We told y'all that was gonna happen. Y'all didn't listen, and look what happened.
with Geno's defense, it's almost paralysis by analysis. That's why it takes so long to install. It's just so much, I think.
It is. That's what it really is. Is it just takes very long to implement. That's all it is. You know. Now we would have talked about Olay to now I would do want to ask you about this too though. Ole Miss Tulane. What do you think about that game?
I think Ole Miss is gonna take care of it if they're not distracted by everything going on with Kiffin and everything and how that went down.
Oh yeah. Yes, Shirley. By the way, Matt Canada was not bringing back Jim Knowles. He was not, which probably was a very smart decision to be quite honest. When okay, so let's think about this. Okay, so now let's talk about the Ohio State. What is your thinking of this team?
I like I said, I think we'll be highly, highly motivated. I think our defense will come in looking to draw blood because you know we didn't win our last game, and I think we'll be fired up. I think our offense will be fired up, and I want to prove something, especially Saiyan and JJ with the snubs and everything. You saw his X account. I'm sure, like he's looking for redemption, and we always do well when we get a chance to play with a chip on our shoulder and kind of play the underdog role for a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say my thoughts on the team are the same, pretty high. I think we'll come in ready to play this time. Um, Now we'll ask, what are you thinking of the hiring process that Ohio State's doing regarding the wide receiver coach search?
Uh, I I know that we interviewed the guy from LSU.
LSU.
I like him, but for me, if um if I were Ryan Day, I'd promote Keenan and then do.
Is Keenan ready though? Would be the question.
I think Ryan Day thinks he is, and I think Keenan has spent enough time with Hartline and Ryan Day to understand what they want out of the position, and if he's not ready, then right now I don't think he's going to be. So if it's offered, I fully expect Keenan to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Ryan Day was probably going to do what he did last time or do what Nick Saban did. Because the thing is with Nick Saban, when he hired from within, he only did it one, at a time, which is he would hire somebody else who has the experience to help the person he wants to promote learn how to do. Because even though Keenan Bailey is good, you don't know if he's good at play calling. Like, yeah, you could be good at calling plays for the tight ends, but are you good at managing an entire offense? Because you're not just handling tight ends anymore, you're handling the entire offense. So
Yeah,
that's what I would do. I would hire somebody who has more experience, like the NFL experience. Because
I I think he should promote Keenan and bring in like the ball or someone for the offense. Of
yeah,
coordinator.
now if you're gonna make, I would say this: if you make Keenan Bailey both the receiver coach and the tight end coach, okay, I'll be fine with that. If you bring in to me, who I think he should bring in, like I said, I want it to be Chip Kelly, if not Kevin Wilson or somebody with some NFL kind of experience, because it sounds like they're looking into like the NFL game. It sounds like for their coaching.
Someone in the chat, if you know, is Kevin Wilson is younger than Chip, correct?
I believe he is. Hold on, let me look it up. Kevin Wilson.
I think he's a little bit younger than Chip.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Kevin Wilson. Shoot, that's age. God damn it. All right, let me look it on my phone. Because it seems like my phone just gives me the age, where my computer just doesn't do that. No, he's older than Chip.
Oh, that surprises me.
Yeah, Chip is 61 right now. Kevin Wilson is 64.
Okay, I had that wrong. I thought Chip was older. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think either one would be a good hire because of their familiarity with what Ryan Day wants to run and their previous relationships with people on staff. They seem to work well and stuff, and we mesh well. So
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Would you be okay if he brought back Tom Herman?
that ain't happening.
I'm just asking.
I wouldn't be mad at it because I think he's a great offensive mind. I just think he's got issues.
Yeah, because actually, what was funny is I was talking about it on the previous show. Hey, Matthews, what's up?
Hey,
He said it's my first
buddy.
time hearing you guys. Oh, dude, if you want to, Hey, I know you like Herman, dude. If you want to, you can rewind this and like listen to the whole chatter between myself and Mika that we go over, like the playoffs, the teams that we're going up against, or the teams that in the playoffs. Yeah, it's true. He did win a natty here. It's
Yeah,
absolutely factual.
we know he won a natty here, but like, yeah, he's got his he's got his baggage that he comes with. I think so.
I will say this: if you want to, you could hire him to be like a pass game or a run game coordinator. If you don't want him to be your offensive coordinator, because I talked about this on I talked about this on the Tuesday show before with Sean, which was which was how am I gonna say this? It was it was about making the coaching staff up in the booth, the analysts, like your secondary coaching staff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all because, like I said, I think he has the offensive mind that is genius. He just has his own set of problems and issues. So, like, if you want to bring him in as like an analyst, I wouldn't be mad about that at all.
As a matter of fact, I think for Ohio State, because we talked, somebody else, not we, but somebody else, I forget, I think it might have been Buckeye Huddle or Juck on Bucks. It was somebody, I forget who said that Ohio State's investments in their support staff has been has been the best investment they made. And I think that's what Ohio State should do.
Yeah,
Make an investment in your support staff. Like, make your offense. Like, for instance, we talked about hiring Sam Pittman to coach the offensive line, either as an offensive line assistant coach or to be an analyst and just have him completely focus on the offensive line. Like, I talked about how you could do these different things with these analysts for these particular positions of the offense, and you can also have, like, on the offensive, like you can have some like what you have down in the like what we have down on the field, where you have an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, and your head coach. That's what you can do with your That's what you can do with your analyst coaching staff. Like, you can have a head quality control coach, which is basically the head coach of the analyst. You can have an offensive quality control coach who be like the person who be like your offensive coordinator of the analyst, who be helping out the actual offensive coordinator, and the defensive quality control coach who basically be like your defensive coordinator, who be helping out the defensive coordinator, basically being like their eyes in the sky and helping them dissect and develop defenses, as time goes on. And then in the middle of it, you have your pass game coordinator, your run game coordinator. You even have the vice versa on defense. We have a defensive pass game coordinator, a defensive run game coordinator, and multiple other like layers that you can go to on offense and defense. And up in the middle, you probably have a little something with special teams if you need it, but there's like multiple things you could do. And it's like with Kevin Wilson, you could bring him back as an analyst just to coach the tight ends and to help out with the offense if you need him to. And the point of this too,
yeah,
with the
and
offense, and the point of it too, by the way, Mika, let me finish this real quick. The point of it too is with your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, you have offensive and defensive analysts up in the middle that can help them out regarding the pass, the run game, read the defenses, and actually help them regarding game plans. And it'd be a great way to have offensive and defensive meetings. Like, for instance, your defensive quality control coach. To me, that would be Josh Boyd automatically, because he's Matt Patricia's eye in the sky, as Matt Patricia has told us. That's the obvious. And if Chip Kelly don't want to be a full-time offensive coordinator to deal with freaking recruiting, bring him in as an offensive analyst. Bring him in as the offensive quality control coach. Bring him in as that.
yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all either. And like, it's like what we did with the offensive line where we had Marcus Johnson and what was the other guy, and Coach Bo, all three of them. You have guys there, and when and the players will get equal coaching, and they go through and they make sure they teach things the exact same way, so everyone gets equal coaching and everyone is well rounded, and it helps younger guys be ready when they're called on the field. And Matty P has already demonstrated that he likes being multiple on defense as well, so that's just
Mm-hmm.
gonna open things up more too. To your point.
And think about it too, like the whole thing we just had with Brian Hartline, you don't have to worry about that anymore. When now you have somebody that you could just promote up from that
Yep.
spot who already knows what they're doing. Like we talked about with Keenan Bailey, get him some assistant coaches behind him. Get like 4 guys. Like we're losing 2 more staffers, by the way, guys. Tony Washington Jr. and Marcus Johnson are
Yeah.
offensive line coach and D-line coaches on the side. they're leaving for jobs elsewhere. Now, I know for Marcus Johnson, it was the Arkansas job to coach the offensive
Uh,
line. Tony
Tony
Washington, I forget who.
is going to Kentucky
Yep,
with
that's yep.
Stein.
Oh yeah, so yeah, no, so we're already losing some guys. So think about it. If you're Ohio State, this would be the best way for you because now, and not to mention, if you can make those analyst coordinator positions like actual coaching positions, it would actually be jobs that we already talked about it. Like if an Ohio State coaching job opens up, everybody's trying to get one. You make those analyst coaching jobs matter. Trust me, you're gonna have coaches that are gonna want to take those analyst jobs too. Because now
Yeah.
they're gonna see it as an opportunity.
It's just like a built-in coaching tree, basically, and it's just going to build in on itself and create ladders, and you won't have to worry too much about losing people if this is the route we go, and I think it will be because I think Ryan Day's already started the groundwork to build that.
Yeah, so I think if I'm Ryan Day, that's exactly what I would be doing. And you know what? We talked about it. Like, we have Billy Fessler. Now, who's the assistant QB coach? We don't know who. Here's be my thing. I would try to get JT Barrett. I would try to get Trey Holtz, who, I mean, I know Ryan Day has a thing with, has it out for Trey Holtz's grandfather, Lou Holtz, but they're good friends. And he's been out making a name for himself in the coaching profession, and he was here at Ohio State before. He knows Ryan Day. So it's like, hey, you could bring him in to be an assistant coach, have JT be like an analyst, or you could have him be the assistant, quarterbacks coach, make Trey Holtz on the upper side, and you could probably bring in a guy like Kenny Guidon or whoever you want to be the fourth guy to be a part of that very scheme. Like if I'm Ohio State, that's how I'm breaking it down. For every position, we are going to have an analyst. And when it comes to the offense and the defense, and even special teams, if you want, you can have analysts. And look, I would even say have a special teams coordinator. I don't think that's a bad idea to have a special teams coordinator. You just need a guy who knows what he's doing.
And not to mention, JT and Kenny Guyton have shown that they can coach multiple positions as well. So
yeah, like that's the best part about it. So if you get those guys, I mean, think about what you could do from that point forward. Because if you're Ohio State, now this is a great way for you to create a pipeline. And not only that, but who knows, maybe you can start building up head coaches too. Because think about it, the head quality control coach position, as I said, would be the head coach of the analyst. So this would be a great way for maybe even a guy like Brown Hartline, if this were to happen again, you could be pretty much in a head coaching role, essentially, just in a different way.
And not to mention, like, if you bring in a guy like Kenny Guyton or JT Barrett or both, you'd have familiarity with the program and what the rivalry stands for. I mean, there's really no drawback to it at all. Like,
yeah, and you could do that for every position, honestly. Like I see one guy you could bring back, like for instance, on corners, I would bring back Corey Brown, not Philly. I'm not talking about Philly. I'm talking about, even though you could bring him back for the receivers, I'm talking about the other Corey that was called, what was his name? Chill Brown? That was his nickname, I think, Chill Brown.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, no, that was his nickname, I believe. Chill Brown was Corey Brown's, the corner's nickname.
You mean Cam Brown?
No, Corey, the other Corey Brown. Because don't you remember that at Ohio State we had two Corey Browns? But we started calling them by different names.
There was Corey Pitt Brown and then Corey.
Yeah, that was the one.
Philly Brown.
Pitt Brown and Philly Brown. Thank you for that one. So Pitt Brown is the one I'm talking about. Bring him back for corner. You could probably bring back Philly to be like an analyst for the wide receivers if you want. I mean, I talked about bringing in Ted Ginn Jr., but since he's going to be the head coach of the Columbus what is that name again?
Oh crap. Aviators.
Yep, the Aviators. Thank you, because that dropped my mind. Hey, and not only that, it could create a great opportunity for Ohio State players what he's doing. So I'm not even gonna be mad at that. If anything, it gives you an opportunity to bring in other guys like a Devin Smith, a Michael Thomas, a Michael Jenkins.
I hope we can cover that because that team's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that team might be fun. That team, I'm gonna watch that team. I don't really watch the UFA. I do keep up with it, but I don't like keep up with it like that. But I will watch that team just for the sake of watching.
Eric, we should. If you're still watching, we should totally cover that team. It'd be like,
Chris Carter is another one.
I think there's gonna be a lot of Buckeyes on that team, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I would love for him to have multiple Buckeyes. Bring Buckeyes on that team. Buckeyes. Don't get here. But Chris Carter, yeah, no, he's another one I talked about before, Andre. I brought him up. He's another one I would love to have. But I would either he's going to be the wide receiver coach or he's going to be the analyst for the wide receiver coaches.
I would like to see him or Santonio Holmes or
Santonio Holmes is another one. Thank you.
Dane Sands and Baca would be a good option. He's very similar to like Heartline standpoint. I think they're friends and they talk a lot, so that would be good as well.
Hines Ward is a guy I would look for a wide receiver coach as well. The other guy I would look for, like, and this is the other thing too. Like I talked about it, where we could have assistants. I talked about bringing in Ryan Shazier if James Laurinaitis ever left. If that's what I would be doing if I'm Ohio State, I'm hiring Ryan Shazier to be my assistant linebackers coach or analyst to my linebackers to have him coach. Since he coached with the Pittsburgh Steelers, it makes a lot of sense, to be honest. And then you can have your pick as to who could be the analyst or the and then you got to pick for your remaining two, whoever you want it to be.
Or like a Darren Lee or a Chris Ward or anybody like that would be good.
Yeah, I wish Galloway or Carter would coach wide receivers, Hall of Fame wide receivers, Buckeye Legacy. Who wouldn't want to play for them? That's true. Galloway, honestly, I wouldn't be mad at any of those. Even though I would want a young wide receiver coach and then just have the older guys here, I would let those two be like the analysts because even though they're older, and then just try to have them bring up other guys to be analysts and move them up, so that way when the day comes, we are not worried about who's going to be the wide receiver coach.
What is Carter doing now? Anything? I
haven't seen him really do anything. So, like, even though I do know Ohio State brought him in last year in 2024 for some specific reason, because he was at Florida Atlantic when they brought him in, but I don't know what he's doing now.
I know he did a lot of like speeches for us last year, but I didn't know if he was doing anything now or not.
David Boston is another good one. Let's see what is he up to.
KJ Hill would be a good one to have around the program as well.
Even though, he is good to have around the program. I think he's actually in the XFL. Not the XFL, the CFL, my bad. He's in the CFL last time I checked.
Didn't he get...
David Boston is another good one, though. What's funny is he's only 47.
Wow, I thought he was a bit older than that.
No, he's 47. So, like, you get a 47-year-old wide receiver. That would actually be a good one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. That's a good idea, actually.
It is a great idea, honestly, when you think about it. Hold on, so let's do it. Chris Carter, what is his age? Because I know I've seen him multiple times, but...
He doesn't age at all, it seems like.
He's only 60, so that's still really young.
And last I saw him, he did not look his age at all. Like, he still looked like he could get out there and teach them things, so...
Yep. And then Joey Galloway, dude only 54. So, like, you bring in these three, you basically bringing in guys who are at the age where they can coach.
Yeah, but
I would bring in David Boston as the main receiver coach because he's the youngest of the three. Second would be Joey Galloway. Then it's like Chris Carter. Like, I would have those two as my analysts because we still have Devin Jordan, who would be our assistant receiver coach. And I would bring in David Boston because he's only 47. He's basically around Ryan Day's age. And Carlos Soughlin's age when you think about it.
The only thing, I don't know if Joey Galloway would walk away from everything he's doing with,
Oh, no, I don't think he would, but I'm saying if that was to come into an option, I'm saying that's what I would do if he would do that. But
I think he would be a tremendous coach, especially for, like, the speedier receivers, because he was all about speed in his playing days, and I think that would translate well, and he could probably teach some young guys some techniques to get better with their footwork and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, if you bring in, let's just say this, you could bring in David Boston as your main wide receiver coach. Chris Carter could be an analyst for the wide receivers, and he is a Hall of Famer. David Boston is also, whether people know it or not, is a Hall of Famer in his own right as well. I mean, we all label him as the top 3 greatest wide receiver of all time, and my uncle's brother.
And we're not saying 60 is old. I'm not saying that at all.
No,
My
that's true. No, like in coaching, I'm saying in coaching, it's
my,
actually really young. You're still
my
young when you.
let me be clear, so my mother doesn't smack me. 60 is not old.
Yeah, like no, when you're in 60 is young. It is when you're still young, even in your 60s. You're still young, especially in coaching. Like in coaching, that is unacceptable. That is acceptable right there. Like that's great. It's actually why I say bring back Pepper Johnson. The man's only 61 years old. Like I talked about getting somebody who can air off to Larry Johnson. He's
Yeah,
still there.
I
Like and
still,
he's an NFL coach who coached with the freaking Patriots
I
during their
still,
run. So
I still would like us to maybe re-entice uh Collins
La,
to come back to be a Buckeye.
Clark, you mean? Alan Clark?
Uh, yeah, let Alan Clark. Yep, I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
if
I would love that. I'm pretty sure he's not loving the Texas job right now, but
I
even
think
though
if
Texas is good, they're
uh,
dealing down is.
I think if LJ walks away, that's the direction I would want to go.
No, I know what you mean, but I mean, Pepper Johnson. I mean, I would love to go to Alan Clark, no doubt about it. But Pepper Johnson, come on, man, the guy who coached with the New England Patriots during the dynasty, who's familiar with Matt Patricia and and you know, his guy up there. What was his name again? I already said his name and I forgot.
Uh, um, I'm blanking too. Duh. Um,
Well, y'all know who I'm talking about,
yeah,
cause
you know,
y'all know who we talk about. I already said his name being Matt Patricia's eyes in the sky, and then I already forget his freaking name.
we're
So
we're sleep deprived. Forgive us.
yeah, it's just stupid.
Uh,
Josh
I
Boyd. That was
yes,
it.
I
Josh
know
Boyd.
this. Yes,
Josh
I
Boyd. Yeah, so he's familiar with both of them. He won 3 Super Bowls. He actually has 5 Super Bowls total with like his 2 with the New York Giants and 3 with the New England Patriots. So he's very familiar with this system. And again, he's still young. And then I would still bring back like Alan Clark just to like if he's the guy I want, but this would be just the guy for in case we don't end up getting Allen. We could still have somebody who's young, but also is a former Buckeye who has the coaching experience. He has multiple years in the NFL. He's known as one of their best D-line coaches. So having a guy like that would be great.
Jason Taylor would be a great move as well. He's shown interest in the job in the past, so that
Yeah, I did question that too because I was like, ooh, I don't know. Would he want to leave Miami though? That was always my thing. I wasn't sure.
he has shown interest in the job in the past. So I would think that if it opens up, he would still be interested. But I don't know. Like I would definitely give him a call though. But not that Laley has shown any interest in moving on. But he is on the last year of his contract, I think. So we need to start thinking about that. In my opinion.
I think he would be good. So if he's interested in the job, I think if I'm Ohio State, I would bring him. And if I'm not mistaken, let me check his age as well. Because I think he's young as well, which
He
would be the
he is. He's I think he's only in his 40s maybe.
yeah, hold on, let me check. He's 51. So yeah, he's young still. He's
I,
pretty much around the age. You know, it's funny because him and Joey Galloway are pretty much around the age of Tim Walton. Because I think Tim is like 55.
yeah.
So yeah, no, so like they're young. They're young. And he would be the perfect he would be perfect. I mean, he did go to the University of Akron, so he is an Ohio guy, but he spent like so many years with Miami, New York, and a couple other teams in the NFL. So yeah, he would be a good one. So if he's interested,
And
I would bring him in to be the assistant coach. Bring in we still have Matt Patrick, who's among our analysts. I would bring in Pepper Johnson to be another analyst for the defensive line.
and he's coached a lot of different types of players and a lot of different types of defenses as well. So that
Yeah,
would
so that would be
that
a
would,
good one.
that would be an intriguing option.
Yeah, surely he played for the New York Jets and a couple other NFL teams.
And
So
Dolphins.
no, that's what he's talking about because he said I know he played for the Dolphins, but he also played for the Jets and a couple other teams as well. So you know, Jesus Christ, we're almost like at an hour and 50 almost. So
Time flies.
yeah, really do. I'm just now noticing. Um, hey, do you guys have any questions before we wrap this thing up? Mika, you got anything else on your thoughts?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. If you guys have I'll say this: if you guys have any questions, put it in the comment section. Hopefully, if it's still working. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, because again,
And
this
I
is me
am
going back to my phone right there.
I am planning on dropping my latest episode of the Illuminati podcast tomorrow. It'll be the 7th episode. I'll go into more detail on my thoughts on the Michigan scandal and break that down a little bit more and go into that. So that should be fun. Tune into that when it drops. I'll announce it on my Twitter page and or X page and everything, and tell everybody when it drops and leave something in the comments when it does. So you guys will know and let me know what you think about that. A lot of research went into this one, so hopefully it turns out well.
Oh, I swear, I think Eric really does need to check out the freaking he needs to check out the freaking thing because I don't know what I don't know what the what you call is doing because I'm looking trying to see if the comment section was in our last video. Still not popping up. So even though it's in me and Sean's, it's not in ours. I don't know what that is. Eric might want to make sure that that thing is up and running because we do need the comment section in those videos.
Yeah, it's
So
helpful.
it really is. So if you guys had any questions, enjoy the CFP, everybody. Have a great night. Make sure you guys sing Carmen, Ohio to all your friends. Tune in next week to the Buckeye Lounge. We're going to have a special guest. We know our last special guest didn't show up because of last minute stuff, and it always tends to happen. Well, hopefully that you guys do. Hopefully our next guest does show up. And on the 30th, myself and Sean will have another special guest on. Now, this isn't somebody you guys know. This is someone new, someone who's looking to break into the scene of being a sports journalist, of pretty much getting into what like myself, Mecah, and all of us here on the OHL podcast are doing, and maybe someone for if we ever do expand, if we continue to grow and we expand, he's somebody who we could get here on the podcast as well, just as a little nugget to put in there. It's gonna be on the 30th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely want to catch that. And guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out our Patreon. Check out our merch store. Makes great Christmas presents.
Yep, you guys want to help support us and support all your favorite podcasters here on the OHL podcast. Buy the merchandise, help us out, continue to help us grow, and continue to help us share the content and share the merchandise with your friends. And if you guys do have the merchandise, do exactly what RDCB did. Put it in the Patreon group chat, or you go to X and go to X and tag the OHL podcast along with any of us in it for all of our merchandise that you buy, like with yourself wearing it. Trust us, you guys are gonna love it. I promise you.
Yep, makes great presents. So, and with that, good night, everybody, and enjoy the playoffs. And gonna see some good games. And
Yep, and we're gonna enjoy the rest of the college football playoffs and just continue to know that our Buckeyes, and let's pray and hope that our Buckeyes win the national championship because I believe they can do it this year. Now we're gonna end it off like we always do. OHIO.
I O.
Go Bucks, and scum still sucks. Not everybody.